In Zambia now, the National Assembly Speaker Nelly Muti has ruled that 9 Patriotic Front members of Parliament whose elections were nullified by the High Court must stay away from the House until their petitions are determined by the Constitutional Court. Meanwhile, 8 of them have gone back to the High Court to challenge the Speaker's decision to bar them from attending parliamentary sittings.
To give us more insight on this story, we have the president of the Green Party, Peter Sinkamba. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. Sinkamba. Can you tell us your take on this matter?
Well, first of all, the Speaker has no power to declare a seat vacant or to ask a member of Parliament to vacate. That power is, according to the Constitution of Zambia in Article 72, Sub-Article 2H, is a reserve of the Constitutional Court. She only has powers to provide for vacation of a seat of Parliament if a member of Parliament dies, or if that person resigns, or he decides to cross the floor, or is expelled by the party that sponsored that individual. But when it comes to court decisions, the decision is a preserve of the Constitutional Court and no other person. So her action is contrary to the Constitution of Zambia. It's unconstitutional. And according to Article 1, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution, any act which is unconstitutional is illegal. So whatever she's done is illegal. And the members of Parliament at the moment have remedies. Of course, they have decided to go to the High Court to challenge the decision of the Speaker based on the judicial review kind of power, which the High Court has a preserve. But in our view, we don't think that going to High Court is the best solution, because our Constitution, the way it is structured, there are certain constitutional issues which the High Court has jurisdiction on. For example, the High Court has jurisdiction to hear an election petition of a member of Parliament, which is a constitutional issue. And then the High Court also has powers to hear a matter related to the Bill of Rights, the human rights issues. But when it comes to everything else about the Constitution, that is the preserve of the Constitutional Court.
All right.
And this particular issue is about a vacancy in the member of Parliament's office. It is a preserve of the Constitutional Court. So they need just to go straight to the Constitutional Court, make an application, a preliminary application to determine the constitutionality of the decision of the Speaker, and based on that, then the Constitutional Court can guide whether that was unconstitutional or not, and provide direction.
All right, but Mr. Sinkamba, you're president of the Green Party out there in Zambia. Now, based on your argument, which you just put forth to us right now, what do you think Zambia needs now, perhaps going forward?
Well, we have a lot of constitutional lacunas which need to be cleaned up, where we have a scenario officers may usurp certain powers which they don't have. And that's why we have all these challenges. Otherwise, if we do not clean up the Constitution, it can lead to serious crises at some point. Even it can lead to war or civil war. So I think our main issue now is to sort out the constitutional lacunas, so that we do not have this kind of scenario where a speaker can wake up one day, interpret the Constitution according to what she thinks, and make a decision, and yet she lacks powers to interpret the Constitution. Unless we make it very clear in the Constitution that these are the limits of A, B, C, D individuals, those that have been vested with power, we may have a big problem in the long run.
Right, Mr. Sinkamba, you've come out to say that the National Assembly ruler in Zambia does not have the constitutional right to suspend any of the parliamentary staff from working. But can you tell us what the implication of this ruling is on democracy and the new dawn of government of President Hakainde Hichilema, especially with his call to rebuild the country, which is politically divided, and the promotion of the rule of law?
Well, I need to clarify that the Parliament has powers to suspend an MP if it relates to the code of conduct, the conduct in the House. If you breach the parliamentary code of conduct or the parliamentary ministerial code of conduct, you can be suspended, but not on a decision of a court. That is a preserve of the constitutional court. Now, coming to the issue of President Hakainde Hichilema, he has promised the Zambian people that with this country must be ruled on constitutionalism and the rule of law. And we expect, all of us, those of us in opposition and everyone else, is expecting that his institutions under his charge must operate within the ambit of the Constitution. They should not transgress, and they must follow the rule of law. So the moment there's going to be any transgression like this, it is impossible to unite the people of Zambia. Because right now, we still have a very fragile scenario where some tribes think that they have been marginalized. Others think that they have overstayed in the power. And at the moment, what we require is the unity of purpose, unity of convenience, so that we are able to move together as one. But if the president is going to say one thing, but in practice, other things are happening contrary to what the president is preaching, that creates a problem, because people will say, now we are not being ruled honestly. Because I think what is very important from the president now is honesty, so that his government operates on account of the rule of law.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peter Sinkamba, President of the Green Party out there in Zambia, as we looked at the Zambia's National Assembly Speaker, nullifying and telling the PF members to stay away. Thanks once again, Mr. Peter Sinkamba, for coming on Breakfast Central.
Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having me. Thank you so much.